sold her car to get them to England because nobody in LA or any of the United States was paying attention to them. But then once they were like people in the UK loved them, and after that, then everybody in LA got interested in them.
And when they started to get successful, and when they came back, I guess I don't know if Margot got kicked out, the bass player, or she left. I don't know what the deal was.
Oh, wait, I have a really good story about that.
But Belinda came. I at that point started co-owning a punk clothing store called Straight Jacket, where we just had tons of musicians that we catered to. And Belinda came in and asked me if I wanted to be the bass player in the Go-Go's, and I just started owning the store, and so I turned it down, and that's how Kathy Valentine came into the picture, who was probably a way better musician compared to me, and I don't think I could have handled the pressure, honestly, but she was my she was my roommate, and we lived on Clark Street, which was, and Motley Crue had an apartment up the street from us, or across the street, and that was right near the Whiskey, and so she was my Straight Jacket roommate. And then her boyfriend at the time was Danny Harvey, who was in Levi and the Rockcats, and he used to come to Straight Jacket with me when we were hungover and help me open up the store, and so I kind of missed that boat.
Well, when the Go-Go's were right before they got rid of Margot, or fired her, because Margot was really a mess. I mean, we were all messes to a certain degree, but she was really a mess. My friend Dennis Crosby, who was Bing Crosby's grandson, he was a master shoplifter. So we were he could shoplift like full bottles of vodka, like 3 or 4 at a time, and a leg of lamb once. I have no idea how he did this. He called it his friend Ethel Mertz code. But so he went shoplifting at the Safeway in West Hollywood, and Margot was with him, and Margot left her purse there. So she had to go back and get her purse, and then they arrested her for shoplifting because the rest of us took off, because how could you stay, you know what I mean? Yeah. Anyway, the next morning, then Margot called Jane. No, she called my house. This was the pre-Disgraceland house. It was called 909. She called there and asked if Jane was there. Someone did, right? And she was, and so then Jane and I had to go and bail her out of the police station in West Hollywood, and Jane was like, I'm too hungover, I can't drive. And I said, what do you mean you can't drive? She's like, I'm not going to be able to see. And I said, well, I can't do a stick shift. And she said, okay, I'll do the stick shift, and you do the driving. So I fucking sat on her lap as we drove to the police station, and that was how we got there. I mean, talk about a moving violation. And I'm sure we both still reeked of alcohol, but that's how we got Margot out of jail.